Hey gamers, so if you didn't already know, Bungie did a live stream about the Rise of Iron DLC a couple of days ago, so I'm just going to make a video on that and basically summarize what they were talking about. I have already done a couple of videos on this topic already, so yeah, if you want to check those out, they're on my channel. The first thing I'll mention is this DLC is actually for PS4 and Xbox One only, so if you're on the Xbox 360 or PS3, you won't actually be able to get it, unfortunately. And like I've said in a previous video, it does say down the bottom of the new poster that you do require the Taken King expansion. So the deal is with the Gjallarhorn, the old one that we used to have in the year 1 Gjallarhorn, to acquire that again you have to do a quest. With the Iron Gjallarhorn, which is basically the black version of the Gjallarhorn, you need to pre-order the DLC. So this DLC will have new characters, new story missions, there's new places to explore in the Cosmodrome, there'll be a new campaign, new cinematic scenes, of course a new raid, there'll be actually a new spawn spot for patrol, there'll be new public events, and quote, new secrets, unquote. They weren't actually able to talk about the raid that much, unfortunately. They basically just touched based on this DLC. I'm guessing they'll be coming forth with a bit of information about the raid later on. There'll be one new strike and updated strike, so previous strikes that we've already done but updated, I think, within the storyline to sort of sink in with the Iron Lord story. And we will get to know a bit more about the Iron Lords via story missions and quests. So there's 3 new places on the Cosmodrome that we'll be able to explore, and I'm guessing that's where the new story missions and quests are. The first one is the Plaguelands. This place was locked up by the Vanguards, I think, to protect the last city. The next place they talk about is Felwinter Peak, which is obviously named after one of the Iron Lords. You probably heard of it from the gun, the shotgun that we get from Iron Banner. This place I reckon is the most interesting. This new social space will be held here, and I think that's because all the memorial statues of the Iron Lords are held here. So we will be able to learn about the Iron Lords through this. The last place that we'll be able to explore is actually the first spot that we come across while playing Destiny, which is called the Wall. They have said that it has changed, although I'm guessing there's more to it. There's not a lot there when we first come across it, so there will be new Crucible maps. I'm not sure how many, although they didn't mention this. I'm guessing it will be based on these new areas. There'll be one new game mode as well. They didn't really mention what that was either. And they also said, quote, new features, unquote, which they also didn't elaborate on. There's a lot of concept art that they have shown us, which is pretty cool. I think they're pretty big on doing that. And it does tell us a lot by just looking at a picture what it could be about. The Felwinter Peak area, they did explain that it does have a lot of history with the Iron Lords. It was actually the place where they would watch over Old Russia. So this temple that I mentioned earlier, where the new social space will be with all the Iron Lord statues, it was built hundreds of years ago, and Lord Saladin is the last of all the Iron Lords. And the reason why all these Iron Lords are actually dead is because they confronted an evil, which Bungie like to call technological plague. So in one of my previous videos regarding the trailer that we saw on Snapchat, I do mention that we do have a new enemy. It is a fallen enemy, although they have updated themselves. They've updated their armor and their guns. So they've basically used scraps of metal, etc. to make themselves stronger and more powerful. The new boss that we're going to be getting in the raid is called Siva, and these fallen enemies, they've basically unlocked him from his cell, which Lord Saladin and all the other Iron Lords locked him in. and they are helping each other become more powerful. So although that we are in the present, there will be a lot of the past been brought up. That's why we will be going to places like Winter Peak to find out the history of the Iron Lords, which will be pretty damn cool. Bungie has also mentioned that although we won't be able to have wolves by our side, we will most likely see them within the new social space. And that was actually a question that Deej actually asked them. So getting back to the new fallen enemies, they mentioned that, well, as we already know, the Fallen do love technology and fiddling around with it, etc. We did see a bit of that when we first started playing Destiny in the Cosmodrome, that they, would steal technology and all that sort of stuff. So they're basically trying to make themselves into human machines to make themselves more powerful. So they're basically half machine, half flesh. And as we do see in the trailer, and I've also mentioned this, Lord Saladin does basically ask us for help to destroy this new evil and lock up Saba again. And it seems like he's inviting us to become Iron Lords in doing this and to reclaim once more the Winter Peak. They also mentioned about the social space, the two that we already had, the Reef and the Tower. They are very well looked after, etc. This one will actually be more worn down and rustic because I think of the history of it and because no one's actually been there for so long. They didn't talk about the weapons and armor that we'll be getting too much, but they did say the armor will be based on like a Viking sort of feel. So as you can see here, it does look a lot like that. And also based obviously on the Iron Lords and their armor. And of course, like in previous raids, we will be getting armor and weapons that are based off of our enemies. So they will basically look like Saber and the new fallen enemy. So very robotic and machine-like. They also touched a bit about the axe that we see in A, the trailer, and B, the poster that we see Lord Saladin holding. They did call it a battle axe, a two-headed battle axe, or Deej did anyway. They basically said that they didn't say it in these words, but they hinted it as how we use the Scorch Cannon in public events. So we'll be able to only use it for a few minutes, just like the Scorch Cannon, and it's limited use, obviously, so only within the public events. And they did also confirm there will be a increased light level. They did not tell us how much, although, but I think they will soon enough. And at the last few minutes of the stream, they did touch a bit on the Galahorn, the original Galahorn, not the back in black one. They basically said in detail that we would be able to obtain the Galahorn through a quest from the Armor of Fallen Heroes. So I'm guessing it is basically from the Iron Lords after we complete this mission, so it'll be probably given to us as a reward. So that basically sums up all that they talked about in the live stream. I will link the description below to the original stream and also the link on how to pre-order Rise of Iron, and also Bungie's website, which actually has a bit of a description about Rise of Iron. And like I said at the start of the video, I did do 3 other videos on this topic, so if you want to check it out, just look on my channel. And yeah, if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up, and if you have any queries or comments, just comment them below. I'd love to discuss this topic with you guys. And thanks for watching. Until next time, gamers.